Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Social Live. We have an exciting show for you today. We are live from New York. It is freezing cold out, and I have an amazing guest co-host, Jules.
Thank you so much for having me on again, Steph. I know, you've been out of the office this week.
I have been. I've been running around back and forth. I was in Arizona last week. On Sunday and Monday, I was up in freezing cold Ithaca, New York, at my alma mater, Cornell University, speaking to the hotel marketing students all about social media and influencer marketing.
That's awesome. I've been to Cornell once, and I feel like my life changed after I ate College Town Bagel. So I was pretty jealous.
You saw I was at CTV.
Yes, I know. I almost texted you my order.
I would have brought it back for you because I bring you back food from my trips, unlike you who did not bring me back any Grotto's pizza from the beach.
Will you ever let that go?
I will never let it go. I hold grudges only about food.
I understand.
But it was amazing to be back up at Cornell. I was in Professor Kortnick's class, who was my professor, my marketing professor, when I was a student in the hotel school. And these students, and I hope some of them are watching because I told all of them to watch Social Live. They asked, how do you keep up with all of your social media updates? I said, we actually share all of our social media updates on our live show, so start tuning in. So I hope everyone is watching. The students were so smart, and it was amazing to be there, just sharing all of the updates about social media and how it really applies to the hospitality industry.
What a full circle moment.
I know, I loved it.
Oh my gosh, will I ever go back to Radford University? Most likely no. So we have a lot to cover today.
Yes, we do. And the iPhone was officially released last week. Sam Branch, our amazing associate account executive at SocialFly, received hers in the mail last week. And she has a lot of Instagram updates right now.
Oh my God.
I actually can barely show you how to use this. I might not be able to get into her phone right now because
it works.
It's not my face.
I know
Face
the code.
ID. You know the code. It's asking for my Face ID on the new iPhone X, and I heard this morning, and we talked about this before, that people have been able to break into the new iPhone X if you're a family member, and there have been some other glitches as well. I'm going to keep a passcode on mine. I did order mine. It's not coming till December.
Oh my gosh, that freaks me out. I don't like the Face ID thing. It's just weird. I don't know if any of my family members would be able to use my Face ID. Probably my dad, because we look alike, but he's a lot older than I am, so that's kind of embarrassing if he could get in,
Well, let us know what you guys think. Have you ordered the iPhone X yet? Has it come in the mail? What do you guys think? And if you haven't, are you going to order it yet, knowing someone might be able to break into your phone with your face? Let us know what you think. I'll share with you my experience once mine comes in the mail.
Please. So besides the iPhone X being very exciting in our office, we have something that I am just pumped about.
I know today's your favorite day.
Today is the best day ever, in my opinion. Our amazing director of HR, Laura, got our team 3 free weeks at SoulCycle, and today is the first day. I'm so excited. I'm going to document the whole thing on SocialFly's Instagram, not while I'm doing the workout because I look like Shrek when I'm working out.
Jules.
So I won't be doing that, but like before and after pictures, like that post-workout glow. Expect to see that all over social media for the next 3 weeks. I'm so excited. I cried when I heard the news. I cry a lot in SoulCycle classes, actually.
Why? The songs just really pump you up and you feel emotional?
Honestly, sometimes when Kanye West is just bumping through the class, I am moved. And everything they say to you is like general enough that it applies to you. And you're like, wow, they're like really in my mind right now. They're saying exactly what I need, but it's like very blanket statements. But it's moving. It's a moving experience.
I've never been to a SoulCycle class because I have really bad knees.
Missing out.
But I would like to go to
Forget your knees.
Can I just sit on the bike and just watch your experience at SoulCycle?
Yeah, it's going to be terrifying, and it's an emotional roller coaster. But it's the greatest class. I'm so excited. I'm going to document the whole thing.
Thank you to SoulCycle for sharing your classes with SocialFly. They know they're going to get a lot of social media exposure from the social media team, so smart move on their part. And next week is Thanksgiving, which means it's also Black Friday, the biggest shopping day of the year. And a lot of retailers are getting in early on the excitement and sharing their deals. Amazon is launching their deals early this Friday. There's going to be 30 exclusive deals on Amazon, including the Echo Dot, which you can get for $29.99. Now, I have an Alexa, so I don't think I need to get a Dot. But had I waited, I could have got a Dot for a third of the price.
I'll be honest, I don't know what the Dot is. I don't know what the Fire HD is, and I don't have an Amazon account. But for everyone who does, get to shopping, you know?
Yes. And we won't be here next week for Social Live, so please enjoy this episode and share it for the next 2 weeks. And if you do, you're going to be entered to win a copy of Jim Curtis's book, who will be on later in the show, The Stimulati Experience, which is right here. So instead of spending money on Black Friday, you can win a free copy of Jim's book. So we have a lot of social media updates to get to.
So I wonder if Taylor Swift's album will be on sale for Black Friday.
Interesting.
Ever since, for the past 4 months now, I don't even know, it feels like it's been a year of just waiting for this album to drop. It finally dropped last Friday, the Reputation album.
We have it, and it's not sitting here. It's at your desk right now.
It is, yeah.
I
honestly haven't
shared
opened
it
with you. Taylor Swift had a huge, for going completely dark on social media for the last year and then deleting her entire social media footprint, only to come back with this whole new look, new persona for the Reputation album. She's had a huge year. On Friday, I think it was, the album dropped. She won a CMA for a song she wrote for Little Big Town, I think, and then she performed on SNL. She then performed on Jimmy Fallon. I feel like I still have my notifications on for her on Instagram, so I get an alert every time she posts something, and I probably get one. I've been getting them multiple times a day because she's been going nuts on social media.
She has launched this entire album by using her following on Instagram. And last night, she made a secret trip to Target and surprised her fans to go buy her own album at Target, which she was saying she does that every single time her album launches.
That was kind of cool.
Can you imagine being there in the store and Taylor Swift walks in and you're a big fan?
Yeah, some guy was like, I live across the street and I was just coming in to get tomato sauce, and he met Taylor Swift. So that's pretty cool. But I just think I'm not the biggest Taylor Swift fan, but I do think it's really cool how she's used social media to get everyone so hyped up about this album. I think I read yesterday that in the first week it's already sold 1 million copies, which is amazing. And I know it's only on Apple Music right now, and she's been holding it from other streaming services for the first 2 weeks, I think she's doing that.
She usually does hold her albums hostage.
Yeah, I know, she really does. She's crazy about them. But that leads into the next story, because the album is not on Spotify yet, which is the only way I'm going to listen to it, because I'm not going to pay for the full album. But Spotify has some other exciting news. They are making major steps to diversify the streaming platform beyond music, and they have partnered with Pat McGrath and artist Maggie Lindemann, and they're now going to be selling makeup and beauty products on Spotify.
This is a really interesting move by Spotify, and I'm curious to see what's really going to happen, because you don't think of Spotify as a place where you're going to buy additional products. I only think of it as music.
Exactly.
But if Spotify already has the audience and people are already invested in the music of these artists and they're launching other products, hey, might as well just try to sell more things.
Exactly, and they partnered with this company, Merch Bar, and I actually didn't know this until I was doing research for the show, but when you go to an artist profile on Spotify, you can buy their merchandise for a tour or just the products they have out. So like I said, they've partnered with popular makeup artist Pat McGrath, who her packaging for her products are the most Instagrammable ever. They're like these glitter bombs. They're amazing. So I think it's really cool that, because she's a huge name in the beauty industry. She's Kim Kardashian, they all love her. So I think this is really cool, and I think it's also interesting after Rihanna has come out with Fenty Beauty line, and all these celebrities are coming out with their own beauty lines, that they have made this leap. I think it's going to encourage more artists to come out with more products and just really get us to spend all of our money on their T-shirts.
Yes, and
which I'm all for.
I love T-shirts and beauty products. Those are the things that I buy.
Exactly. So I think it's a really cool step.
And I do too.
I love Spotify so much.
Do you love it?
I love it, and I'm going to follow it too.
So a big Facebook update. Facebook has now launched their collaborative stories for groups and events. So users of Facebook groups and events are now able to contribute to a story that's visible to the rest of the members of the group, that's moderated by the group admin. And this is going to be a really great feature to allow people who are at events or parties or weddings or bachelorette parties to be able to contribute and share to the stories and do it in real time and feel like you're really part of a group. So I think this is a way that Facebook is trying to compete with Snapchat, Snapchat groups.
Oh, Oh, completely.
Yes.
But I feel like I haven't heard that much about Snapchat groups since that launch. And I feel like Facebook, I feel like this is actually really going to take off on Facebook more so than it did on Snapchat.
I do too.
And it will probably come to Instagram in no time.
We should definitely make a SocialFly team Facebook group where we can all share stories from SoulCycle.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. No, I think that's a great idea. I think this is really cool, and like the admins do have power to allow to like moderate who's posting what and everything. And I did read that they're going to kick off the story, to encourage people to kick off the story. They'll show an open bubble at the top of the news feed, and if you're invited to the event, you can go ahead and start posting.
I love it. We're definitely going to have to test this out for our next SocialFly group outing, but this will definitely help a lot of businesses who have groups and want to be able to collect content from their events. So Facebook is always innovating, and I feel like we have a new Facebook update every single week.
We do.
And not all of them work and are great, but Facebook always tests it out, and then we see what happens, and then they continue to iterate. So
yeah, exactly.
They own it. And finally, for another big social media update that actually is launching today, Pinterest is launching colorful pin codes that link to fashion and food boards. And this is a big update on Pinterest platform, because it's going to allow retailers to be able to essentially put up what looks like a QR code on their packaging or in magazines, and if you scan it, it will then click through to the Pinterest board where you can get more information about those products. I think that this is a big move on Pinterest's part, because they're really trying to be able to connect with their consumers and be able to take what's happening in the real world back online so you're able to shop.
Exactly. And we were talking about this morning, and I was kind of asking Stephanie, like, who is still using Pinterest? Because I don't use Pinterest as much as I once did, but this trend of like shoppable posts on social media is really taking off. It's a huge thing on Instagram, and I think it's only going to get bigger. So I think this is, again, a really smart move for Pinterest, and might encourage users to get back on the platform if they are maybe not using it as much, and just spike sales for the platform.
Yeah, absolutely. And Pinterest is also launching something that's called Lens Your Look, and I really like this one. So this feature lets you refine a search using your camera. So let's say you're searching for a scarf. You can then take a photo of your winter coat, and then Pinterest is going to find pins or products that will match a scarf with your winter coat. So I like this. So instead of me having to call Courtney or send Courtney a message, like, should I buy this? Does this go with this outfit?
Yeah.
I can just put it into Pinterest, and they're going to recommend and tell me if it matches or not.
That's pretty amazing.
So,
it's like a personal shopper in your pocket.
Yeah. Pinterest personal shopper.
Yeah.
So I'm going to test this out. We definitely will be able to apply this to many of our fashion brands that we work with.
For sure.
And I think this is a big move on Pinterest's part. They have many people still using this platform, and we're able to drive incredible results, especially for the e-commerce brands that we work with, through Pinterest advertising. So I love that they're continuing to innovate.
Completely.
All right. That was it for all of our social media updates. We are so excited to welcome our friend and author, Jim Curtis, to SocialLIVE today.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Jim is
Thanks
an author.
for having me.
Yes, he's an entrepreneur, and Jim struggled with a chronic illness for 20 years and has worked with specialists to develop a method to deal with pain and setbacks. The Stimulati experience is a book for anyone dealing with pain or anxiety in their lives.
Yes.
Welcome
anyone.
to SocialLIVE. We're so happy to have you here today
Thanks.
to talk about your book, which I absolutely love your book, and I felt like I could truly relate to the Stimulati experience because
you know
of
some of the experts
I
in the
do
book.
know some of the experts in the book because of my experience with MS. So I highly recommend this book to everyone, and let's just learn more about you. And before I tell everyone about the book, since I've already
Let's
read
learn
it.
more.
Yes.
That sounds good.
So can you just share with everyone more about your message and how you really describe the Stimulati?
Okay, so a lot of people ask me about Stimulati, and my publisher was a little weary of the Stimulati. They're like, well, what's the Stimulati? Well, it's a Latin word that needs to stimulate, and there are some people in your lives that can just ignite a passion in you, ignite a health, ignite a vision. It stimulates you to take a next step, and that's what the Stimulati do. So anyone from Grandmasters of Kung Fu to Ecuadorian shaman to our mutual friend, Dr. Adam Kaplan, who is at Johns Hopkins.
Yes.
These are the folks at Stimulati. And in fact, you guys are even Stimulati. You guys are going out there into the public and getting people information that makes them excited or gets them to do something. So that's what a Stimulati is.
That's amazing. Or am I a Stimulati? I don't know.
You are, Jules.
3 times.
You are 100%
Stimulati.
Stimulati. By the way, your mother says that she's grateful for you to come home for Thanksgiving. She just said that in the comments.
Oh, you were watching the comments?
Yeah, I was watching the comments. She also says she loves Soul Cycle, which is great. Yeah, now I'm following you. Yeah, okay.
You get to get her SocialFly email
looks very
address.
sweet.
No, seriously.
She looks very sweet.
Yeah. So you've said before that everyone is experiencing some sort of pain. So what is your advice or the first step someone needs to take to address or deal with the pain in their lives?
Well, first, stop denying that you're in pain.
Yeah.
You know, like I say that we're all chronically ill, right? Because we're all dealing with stress and anxiety in such a high level that, you know, it goes untreated. If you're untreating your stress and anxiety and your worry and you're just saying, oh, I'm stressed today or I'm feeling worried today, then you're living with a chronic illness that is really affecting you and you're not treating it. So you have to start to be aware, like, okay, this feeling in my stomach and my chest and I can never be present because my brain is always thinking of 1,000 things. No, I didn't sleep last night and I must have had bad dreams.
Yeah.
All that stuff that people complain of, those are symptoms of your chronic illness. And it's called anxiety.
So what methods of self-care have really worked for you?
First, you have to, for me, meditation. I started to go to Kadampa Meditation Center, which is in New York City, right near here. And they're a Buddhist meditation. You go through an hour talk, and then you meditate for half an hour. And when I went there for the first time, it was like, okay, this is something that could change my life. But there are other things that you can do. Download the Happify app. You know, just start to spend 15 minutes a day to say, okay, these are the crazy thoughts I'm thinking, and they don't have to define me. You know, I can create whatever I want.
How long does it take you to meditate? Because I've tried it before, and I downloaded the Happify app.
How long does it take you to meditate?
I could not get Zen for the life of me. They're like, clear your mind.
That means you need to meditate.
When
That means if you can't meditate, start to meditate immediately. It's kind of like if you can't lift a weight up, get to the gym.
How long does it take to get in the habit of doing it and for it to start becoming effective?
Okay, immediately. So immediately. The first second that you try to meditate, you're meditating.
Okay.
The more the brain fights you is because the more that it's kind of like it's something that you don't want to let go of, right? You know you have to, but you're like, as soon as you know you let go of it, you love it a little bit more. And that's what your brain's doing. It's like, okay, time to relax. No, that's why I start screaming. So like in meditation at the Kadampa Center, there's like 150 people in the room that go through an hour-and-a-half talk. No one coughs, sneezes, or moves. They're listening to the talk. As soon as you start to meditate, everybody, it's like chronic. Yeah. Everybody's like coughing, and it's like whooping cough in the audience. So it's like that's when your brain starts to say no. But listen, you can do mini meditations. Just breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And all you think about is the air on your nose. You can't think about and concentrate the feeling of the air on your nose and all your other stuff. And guess what? That's your first step into meditation. It's okay if your mind says, no. You're starting to meditate. So the answer is, as soon as you start to try to meditate, you're meditating.
I feel like it's so important that we, especially in the day and age of social media and everyone's glued to their phones, I know I basically live like this, it's so important that we take a step back and disconnect and learn how to meditate and get away from all of the distractions.
Listen, I wrote a book about this stuff, and I talk about this stuff. And last night, the touchpad on my new iPhone stopped working. And so I haven't been able to text or email. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? This is the first day I came in here and started talking to you about it. I'm like, and you're Courtney. I'm like, how do I fix this? So I've been, it's so overwhelming that I've been completely preoccupied just because I can't text and email and go on an instant.
You forgot to bring the signed copies of your book that our viewers are going to receive because you're going to drop them off here now.
Right.
Once you get your phone fixed.
Right, so I will drop them off. But what I'm saying is that the learning never ends. It's a constant practice. And if you don't get it at first, just keep trying.
Okay, I'll re-download the app.
Good.
I will. I'll try it again.
Or just read the book.
Oh, exactly. I should just do that.
You could do that too. I mean, I did write it out.
Yeah, exactly. So we kind of talked about this on social media. It's kind of like can be a source of anxiety, but on the other hand, it's kind of a resource for inspirational content, aspirational content. So how have you been able to use social media to spread your message and your story?
I'm not, well, I've learned a lot from you guys and how I should use social media, but I realized that what I was getting inspired by on social media, I should do more of. instead of I was doing a lot of ego-driven things. And I realized, am I posting this on social media because I want to look cool or I want to provide value? Mm-hmm. And then I started to think, oh boy, I only have this many thousand people on social media. Am I successful or not? And then I went to another Stimulati in the book, is Jorge Rivera, and I told her about this, and she's like, yeah, that's the wrong way to look at it. Look at it as if there's just one person in the world, and you want to provide value or change their mindset in some way. And what do you love? So I love Instagram feeds like words of women. Mm-hmm. That's really great. And although they're like words of women for women, it was like my favorite one ever. Like
they have I'm gonna follow them now.
You should. They should, because they have amazing things. And oftentimes, when you're feeling some way, just realizing that someone posting something, tabs like you said about SoCycle, that can really help you. So that's the kind of inspiration that I've been getting.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm doing it now.
Oh, that's great.
Well, you are so inspiring, and your book is incredible, and I hope all of our viewers will buy a copy of your book on Black Friday. It's on Amazon, so it's definitely easy to purchase. And thank you so much for coming on the show today. Where can everyone find you and follow you?
Jim Curtis 1 on Instagram. I am at the Stimulati on Instagram. Also, you can find me on Facebook. And jimcurtis.us is my website that I just created. I'm around.
You'll find Jim everywhere. Just search Jim Curtis and he'll pop up. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Appreciate
and
it.
Thank you to everyone for watching today. Be sure to share today's episode for your chance to win. We're going to have 4 lucky winners, 4 signed copies of the Stimulati. We'll send it to you, and you will have it for the holidays so you can de-stress and learn all about how to live.
If you want me to write you a note in it for someone, I will do that.
Yes, so it could be a gift too if you win. So start sharing, and thank you guys for tuning in. We won't be here next week over the Thanksgiving holiday. We'll see you the following week for another exciting episode. Everyone have a wonderful Wednesday and happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.